Hi there, it's Tracy here from Plumessence Therapies and Training, and this is a video about a blog I wrote in April 2019 called Coping with Grief. This I wrote at the time through some of the personal stuff that I was going through, and it was relevant, but with what's going on now in April 2020, it's become relevant again, so I think worthy of recording again. Of all the trials that we face in life, the loss of a loved one may be one of the hardest to endure, much less overcome. It's during these dark times that the worst within us rises and threatens to overwhelm us. But whilst we are at our worst, it's also when the best of us can come out as well. That's within our unique strengths start to come out, and they start to appear in order to help us persevere. Grief is universal, but understanding the particular challenges faced by the different personalities may help us prepare for the inevitable and cope with the irreversible. Grief, sadness, and depression are all emotional states that drain a person's energy. Once we get past the anger of losing someone, these other feelings start to follow closely behind. During times of grief, we don't seek pleasure and we actually struggle to enjoy other stuff that's going on anyway. Our energy for these sort of matters usually evaporate whilst we're going through the mourning phase. The energy depletion is often intense, and we can sometimes hear phrases like, I don't know how I can carry on, I don't know how I can cope, I don't know how I'm even going to get on with my life. For some people, the death of a loved one is the death of possibility, of shared dreams, of shared goals, and of future adventures, and these are gone. The only thing that can be left is fading memories. Grief wounds us all, but for some, the hurt is more visceral than most, and they may find loss the hardest to accept. Some people believe that death can give some sort of relief from a life full of hardship. Some people realise that they are actually afraid to die. Some people are not content with the fact that everyone has to die. Some people start to think about how short life really is. And some people start to worry about the possibilities of death-inducing events like future wars. And I think this has become quite relevant in the current pandemic that we are all going through at the moment. On the whole, many people love happy endings. And more than that, they love the fact that happiness doesn't have an ending. Death is final, and it serves as a slap in the face to those of us that are soft-hearted and optimistic. This is why some people may struggle more than most at foraging the meaning out of the chaos of grief. This is where we draw upon resilience. As terrible as grief is, and as heavy as it lies on our shoulders, grief is very, very rarely in a hurry to leave us. Eradicating the pain would mean that people are ridding themselves of the person that they once loved. They may find themselves revisiting old memories for comfort, but instead just drawing back up old pain. With their inability to ignore the emotions or to forget their loved ones, the question must be asked, how do some people cope and deal with grief? And how do they avoid being consumed by it? Healthy mourning allows people to pass through these exhausting sadness and to accept the loss as they arrive at a new normal. For some, they may need more private time than usual to rebuild their energy reserves following a tragedy, but they should be careful not to turn this into isolation, because as I've discussed in other blogs and videos, isolation can bring on its own other mental health problems. Some would do well to remember that although there is a strange comfort in the company of ghosts, living people must take precedence. Because of their nature, some people have remarkable resilience and an uncanny ability to adapt to changing circumstances. Even in the darkest of times, some people may find ways to be hopeful that life can be beautiful again. And it's this hope, no matter how small, that they cling to as they find their way out of that grief. Effective grief counselling is mostly about giving people the permission to deal with a death in a way that suits them best. Whatever your personality type, when you face a loss, give yourself permission to do whatever it takes to get through. Get through in your own way. Be generous enough to allow others to grieve in the fashion that suits them too, even if it doesn't feel quite right to you. If a loss has left you feeling like a shadow of your former self, did you find strength in your sorrow? How did you cope with it, and what did you do to help you cope with the sadness and the exhaustion that you felt? Perhaps sharing your ideas on social media or below this video may well help others to find solutions as well. This piece of writing that I completed was adapted from a piece that was published by the 16 Personalities team at 16personalities.com. Plum Essence Therapies in Training offer a range of natural therapies to help you cope with and manage grief, even if that's just a safe space to talk. Aromatherapy, Reiki, crystal therapy, meditation and mindfulness, or NLP and hypnotherapy. All of these helped me when I've come across grief in the past, and so that's why I offer them too. There's always time for a no obligation chat, so please just contact me on the numbers available or email me on tracy@plumessencetherapies.co.uk. Once again, thank you so much for listening, and I do hope that you are staying safe and well. Thank you.